weird shit goes on in the world. I gotta tell you. I remember dealing with Feltman's, and Feltman's was very good to us for about 2 years, maybe a year and a half. But as far as I know right now, I don't know if Feltman's exist. And it seems like one of the guys we dealt with, Michael Quinn, has gone off the rails and just, I mean,
Frank, how could you say that about the founder of our the creator of Allow Me to Be Frank?
Frank the Tank's a good friend of mine. I financed his podcast on Barstool Sports. I financed it. I paid for his podcast. They sponsored it. That was my money.
How could you say that?
Yeah, well, he didn't create shit. He sponsored us. I was around before Feltman's, and I'm around after Feltman's, and he started with his brother, and what was it? We started with his brother in honor of his
brother Jimmy.
His brother Jimmy, who was killed in the 9/11 attacks, and the other Quinn, I believe. What was the other Quinn's name? Does anyone remember?
Joe
Quinn. He was a military veteran, and he was very proud that Feltman's was a company that employed a lot of military veterans. And this thing was so blurry. So they were very good to work with. And they had good quality hot dogs. The natural casing hot dogs were very good. And then they started another hot dog, like the fun-sized hot dogs, the skinless hot dogs. And those hot dogs were not good.
Oh, really, Frank?
They weren't as good. I mean, the natural casing hot dogs, the ones they first came out with, were good. And then they started foisting the ones, the fun pack, they called it. Remember? The fun pack? The hot dogs are smaller. They weren't as good as the other Feltman's hot dogs. They were not anywhere near as good. And Feltman's was at stores. They were the official hot dog of the Florida Panthers. They had it going on. And I don't know what happened. They pulled a sponsorship from us, obviously. And it seemed like they just dropped off the face of the earth. Now Michael Quinn is just acting weird. He's just gone off the rails. I mean, he's doing stuff with World of T-shirts, and it seems like a very weird dynamic there. I mean, World of T-shirts looks like he's being taken advantage of. And a couple of World of T-shirts friends reached out to me and told me that Michael Quinn's not a good guy. That he's taking advantage of World of T-shirts, and he's doing things he shouldn't be doing. And I made some comments about that. It says that I don't know what's going on with him. I haven't talked to him in a while. Then he says he invited me a game this year. First off, I went to 20 Met games this year. Jenks was there for most of them. I know that they usually did the Jimmy Quinn game. I don't even know if they did the Jimmy Quinn game. And now it seems like he's feuding with his brother Joe. He's out of Feltman's. I mean, I don't know what's happening. I don't know if Feltman's is around anymore. I hope they do. The other hot dogs they had were good. Not the fun size one. The natural casing ones were good. The hot dogs, the first two types of hot dogs they had were good. Then they had the bacon, and that wasn't good. But they had some good products, and I really did enjoy their hot dogs. And he showed me a couple of hot dog places. What was the place? McSorley's Ale House. I mean, that place is historic. They have Feltman's hot dogs there, or they did back then. I don't even know if they do that anymore. It's just a weird dynamic. I mean, I would see Feltman sometimes at Stop and Shop, and I don't see them anymore. I don't see them anywhere anymore. And I don't know what's exactly happened. I don't know. I mean, he's now talking about running for mayor, kind of bizarre way. Michael Quinn looks like he's just gone completely off the fucking rails, and I don't know.
Well, yeah, and I'll just say this: I think it's embarrassing that he has to use your name to try to get some publicity when he's already trying to take advantage of other people. Now he's trying to get Daniel Larson involved. He wants to try to get Beetlejuice. He wants to try to get dude, what are you doing? Just I don't know. Develop your own personality. Don't try to fucking hook up. The whole scheme of what that guy is doing will never make sense to me. I kind of caught on it when I saw the whole World of T-shirts thing. way back earlier, the same guy that reached out to you, Frank, reached out to me. And, I mean, from what everybody sees, he's turned World of T-shirts into, like, an alcoholic. So, like, there's that. Yeah. That's terrible, one. And then two, like, to be putting your name in his mouth to try to get viewers or try to get any credibility or likeliness, like, is not going to do anything, especially right here, right now. We could put a whole kibosh to that right now. Not a Michael Quinn podcast. I used to do a podcast with Michael Quinn, and that used to turn into just the Michael Quinn show. We would interview all these people about their restaurants, and it would be 20 minutes about talking about him. I just had to stop doing it.
Look, I finally cleared up.
Attaboy, Frank.
Hey.
Who was the kid? Is World of T-shirts who he was bringing out for drinks? Wasn't he bringing?
Yes, dude, and he won't stop. Like and then like he'll like post like, oh, me just being a great guy, making sure this guy gets help, and then like two fucking TikToks later, he'll go live, or like World of T-shirts will go live, and they're hammered at the bar. So it's like, what the fuck? This, I don't know. Guy's a weirdo. Guy's just a fucking weirdo. And that's all I say about that. I don't mean,
they did a lot of good work with.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe Quinn getting the military involved with the making of the hot dogs, and I don't know what's happened. I don't know what's happened over the last 18 months since we stopped working with them, but it seems like they've fallen off a cliff.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you see any TikToks where they're talking about Frank the Tank, just know that Frank hasn't approved any of it, and it's all total bullshit.
Did he invite you to a Mets game this year, Frank, or was that a lie?
I don't recall him inviting me to a Mets game. I know I had 20 games, a 20-game plan.
Yeah, but in the TikTok, like, let me actually pull this one up so the listeners can hear this. In the TikTok, he literally said, like, oh, yeah, Frank the Tank told me. Frank the Tank told me he's disgusted. He's not coming to the game today. So he's just lying. He's using your name. And that's the thing. Like, it'd be...
Yeah, well,
Frank didn't want to come. He's so disappointed in the Mets. He's disgusted. He told me.
Well, how come I went to two? How come I went to two doubleheaders in the last in the last week of the season?
Dude, he's using your name, Frank. That's all it is. And that's what he does with all these people that try to fucking blow himself up. Then in his bio, just a great guy. No, you're not, dude. No, you're not. So.
Frank, with our doubleheader, it was also like hurricane season in New York. It was pissing rain that whole like weekend.
I'm the one that revived Feldman. So it was all my idea and all my backing and my concept. Other people kind of jumped on the bandwagon. I forgot that I started getting a lot of press. Like my brother and other people started to jump on the bandwagon. But if you look back 2015, 2016, it was all me. All me. Optimist and all that stuff. Time out New York. Let's seem better. No, business is business, You got to give credit where credit's due. Please follow me. Thanks.